previously during the investigation. Okay then, Zach. Let's pay Harry another visit and get to the bottom of all this.
And that one. And that one too. All red seeds.
Welcome, York. The killings 50 years ago. There is something about it that you won't find written in those files. The people were attacking and killing each other, rampaging as though insane.
Quite a story.
York, I told you, it's nothing more than local folklore.
What does that all mean?
It's called The Legend of the New Raincoat Killer.
York, we found Thomas.
Zach. Okay, so it's not bonus footage. It's still part of the main feature. Perpetrator is exactly who I thought it was.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Let's Play. Let's get chapter 21 started.
Dad? Dad?
Come on, boy, or it'll be too late.
Aw, poor little York. He's struggling so much to catch up to his father, who is not slowing down in the slightest. What a dick. You can't really do much besides chase after the dad. You can't open up your inventory. You can't exit out of the game. If you want to end the chapter, you need to just shut off your machine to get out of here. What's a bit interesting about York's father, his model seems to be actually using the old David Young Henning model from Raining Woods.
Come on, boy, or it'll be too late.
I mean, it's a guess on my part, but just comparing the silhouettes, they look very similar to me. So it's like, oh yay, they made use of some old Raining Woods assets. And they found their way into Deadly Premonition. So it's kind of fitting that David Young Henning is the father of Francis York Morgan. This is another thrilling, slow chase sequence that I love so much.
Dad? Dad?
Come on, boy, or it'll be too late.
And as we move forward, the red vines come up through the path and block the way backwards. But you don't really want to run backwards because little York runs very, very slow. Look at that, he just disappeared. I guess they expect most people not to run right away, and he's supposed to kind of disappear over the horizon.
Dad?
But I was pretty much on his butt right away.
Come on, boy, or it'll be too late.
Now he's just a disembodied voice. But we do have a trading card to pick up, which is pretty interesting. I love picking up things in the dream world. And it's of our dad. Cool.
Dad? Dad?
Come on, boy, or it'll be too late.
Aww, he left him.
Daddy? Daddy? Daddy?
Are you okay?
It's Emily. And Willie. Hi, Willie. Didn't realize York was that, fond of Willie. What's so funny, guys? Gonna share? Is it about Kaysen?
You are waiting here for someone, aren't you?
The person you are waiting for will be here soon. Grandpa, hey!
Oh, Emily. Sorry, my dear, I must have fallen asleep.
That's enough napping for today. Tell me the rest of the story.
Yes, of course. That was our promise, wasn't it?
That's Emily's
Before
necklace.
I continue on, though, I've got a little gift I want to give you.
Wow. It's pretty.
Consider it a protective charm, like a signpost. It will help to lead you through your life.
A signpost?
One day, my dear, you will find out one of the truths of this world. That the world is filled with contradiction and inequality. When that day comes, how you respond, what you do, that will be the instant that determines the value of your life. This pendant will show you the way in that moment.
The value of my life?
Yes, dear, the value of your life. I have faith that you will grow up into a woman who can make the right choices. Do you understand, Emily? We come toward the climax. As the angel said, I was soon fated to meet him. What do you think of those dreams, Zach? So I do care for Emily.
What about you? We should take this opportunity and talk about this a bit.
So, this chapter has a lot of cutscenes.
If I hadn't seen Yor come into the bar, well, you wouldn't have found this place, would you? Now how about that? I guess I've always been lucky when luck was needed. That's why I've been able to stay in business, too. Although we have Willie to thank for finding this room, I suppose. He's got a great nose. Clever, too. He'd be a great businessman if he wanted to be.
What? It's a dog.
I owed you guys one anyway, and I owed York big time, too. You guys didn't tell anyone about that whole thing with Diane. I want to help you guys out. Is there anything I can do?
Kaysen, I appreciate the offer. But this is a police matter. You can leave everything to us from here.
Oh, well, okay.
George, look. These cigarettes. They're the same brand that York smokes. He's definitely been here.
Carol's been missing since the bar closed last night. This town will be deserted if this keeps up.
What do you think is really happening here in Greenvale?
Emily, let's focus on looking for York. I just hope there are more leads than a cigarette butt around here.
Hey, Willie, of course! You can track his scent, can't you, boy? What do you think, officers? Let him help you out, why don't you? Oh, he'd make a fine police dog.
I told you we don't need...
Sounds good, Kaysen. We need all the help we can get. Come on, George, let's let them help us.
But they are civilians.
Do you have a better plan? As we speak, York might be...
Oh, she's getting emotional. See, she really does care for you, York. And also, I want to work with Willie.
All right. Let's have them help.
Thank you, George.
But one thing, with York missing in action, I'm back in charge. And York would give me hell if something bad happened to you guys. So promise me you'll call for backup at the first sign of danger.
Yes, of course.
I think we're missing something here. So I'm going to look around a bit longer. You go with Kaysen and follow York's trail.
Thank you, George. We're counting on you, boy. Welcome to the force, Deputy Willie.
Let's get rolling then.
Okay, I'm counting on you, Willie.
Oh, not counting on me, though, are you? Sheesh.
Yay, we get to control Emily. This is fun. Unfortunately, it is a long chase sequence, which I loathe. And this long chase sequence is actually going to be peppered with switches to York and different cutscenes. So at least it stays pretty interesting. This chapter is actually the first time a lot of people hear Emily's car music, and their reactions to when this song starts playing is always pretty funny. Damn, Willie. And just like with the gallery, Willie is going to take the most circuitous route to where York's being held, which is the community center, clock tower. Ugh, I forgot about this. If you get too far ahead of Kaysen...
Hey, where are you going? Deputy Willie, he's over here. Come on, hurry.
The game will turn you around and put you behind Kaysen again. So I guess he does not like being left behind. But I mean, I was still behind Willie. Whatever. Kaysen can move pretty fast for a big guy. Looks like it's gonna rain pretty soon with all those dark clouds. Now, George said Carol was missing ever since the bar closed last night, but the bar closes at like 6 a.m. So, did the bar stay open all night last night, or did it close early, like, I don't know, at 12
where are
or
you
something?
Going? Deputy Willie, he's over here. Come on, hurry.
Kaysen, I was keeping up with Willie. I don't need to be behind you. Ugh. Okay, time to take a break and have a little convo with Kaysen. Get some good backstory on the two.
He can be a little selfish, but he's a good dog. He stayed with me all this time, through all the good and the bad.
How long have you been together?
Oh, we go back a long time. I can't even remember a time when he wasn't around.
I had a dog when I was small, too. He was a beagle, so we named him B. Stupid name, I know. He hated being left alone and always followed me around. I could tell him anything, even things I couldn't tell my parents. He'd look into my eyes and listen intently to anything I had to say. It's like he sympathized, and he didn't make fun of me. He would just listen. When I was done talking, he'd put a paw on my thigh. My worries just faded away when he did that. Made me feel like I was just a fool for worrying so much. Dogs are great that way.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I think they got a lot more wisdom than us humans. Even if they are betrayed, well, they don't see it that way. Sure sounds foolish, but you know dogs, why, they're always happy. I'm positive that even if man perishes off the face of the earth, dogs, why, they'll just carry on, regardless. They see everything, you know. From their dog houses, they look out and they see what humans do.
Kaysen.
Oh, look, Deputy Willie's calling for us. He's always like that. Let's get back to the chase.
Alright, now it's time for us to switch with York and see how he's doing.
Thomas, I know that you're there. Your disposition is not of my concern. But you do need to stop this. Untie me. Let me go. Right now. And you and Carol should take off. Go as far away as you can. Open a bar or a diner in a new town. With your cooking, I know you do well.
Why, thank you, York. You're so kind. Unlike him.
If I had someone like you, things may not have come to this.
York, have you ever been in love with someone?
Thomas, a long time ago, I witnessed two people that I really cared about die. Both pretty much at the same time. And since then, I've tried not to care about anyone so deeply, but recently that way of thinking has changed.
Emily, right? She's a nice girl.
But I must warn you, York, you'd be better off not falling in love with her.
Thomas, considering the circumstances, whatever I say might not be important to you, but I'll say it anyways. Don't you dare touch Emily.
York, I think I've said too much.
It's natural to respond when someone talks to you, I guess. Everything will end tonight. You just stay there until then.
Oh, you can see his tattoo. That was a weird tone he took when Emily was mentioned. I wonder the him Thomas referred to. Obviously it's Raincoat Killer. It's not Nick because he's in jail. You guys aren't going to comment about those vines blocking the phone? No? Okay. Time for another conversation.
What's wrong? Something's bothering you.
Oh, no, it's just... I promised to have tea with Polly. I just remembered.
What's that got to do with anything?
Yep, you're right. This just isn't the time, I know. But it's... well, she reminds me of my mother who passed away.
Kaysen.
I've been a salesman for a long, long time. I never had time to talk with my mother, you know. Sales, they were the thing for me. No matter what happened, this was more important. So even when she was sick, I put more energy into my work, which I regret now. And you know, when I heard she died, I was on my way home, all happy. I closed a big deal in Jersey. Just when you want to give something back, you got no one to give it back to. Well, that's when I met her, Polly. I thought heaven had given me another chance. I really did. So I always stay in that hotel whenever I come up here. Oh, sure, the rooms are great, but in all honesty, I go there because I want to talk with Polly.
Does Polly know all this?
No way. I'd never say anything so embarrassing to her. She'd think I've got some crazy mother complex or something. Right, let's get going. Deputy Willie disapproves of any chit-chat. I'll make it up to Polly some other time, I guess.
I do like the patch on Kaysen's overalls, little Willie patch on his back pocket. That's so cute.
Zach, I'm hungry, but I can't do much about that at the moment. Thomas is certainly a great cook. It's a shame to keep his cooking hidden out here in the countryside. Don't you think so, Zach?
Ugh.
Which reminds me, there's another great cook in town. To fall in love with her would mean that I would need to love her cooking, too.
No, you don't.
Why does God test us so, I wonder? That coffee she made. Man, did that pack a punch. I wish you could have tasted it, Zach.
Willie is such a good little dog. He's using the crosswalks and the sidewalk. He doesn't want to get a ticket, I bet. Or jaywalking. Damn, Kaysen, you didn't have to push me out of the way.
It's only a hunch now, but I don't think Nick killed Diane.
What do you mean?
Me and Diane, we were, pretty close. Sure, some people might have moral issues about it all, but I'd like to think that I knew her pretty well. Every time we finished talking, she'd bring up art. I'd make a face, boring. And she'd always say, "You're so different from Nick. He's so much more intelligent."
Sounds like something she'd say.
Nick was one of the few people who she could talk to, And vice versa for Nick, I suppose. Diane also told me that she was best friends with Nick. He'd have nothing at all to gain by killing her. I can't believe that one would try to kill the other. I just can't.
But even the best of friends can end up in the worst fights.
Still, the voices and footsteps I heard that night, they were something else. Much more violent, more horrifying. Diane's voice sounded different, too. Different. Hard to explain. Of course, I couldn't make out what she was saying.
You told York all this?
Of course I did.
No, you didn't.
What did he say?
I know, that's fine.
I do not remember
Something like
that conversation. You just kept talking about boots. How the sound you heard were definitely boots.
Let's go then, and catch Diane's killer.
Zach, about Emily. Don't you feel almost nostalgic looking at her? I don't think I've ever felt that way looking at a woman before. No, I'm wrong. It's a long time ago now, though. Do you remember that incident, Zach? Anyways, I was very surprised when she came to my hotel room. Not in a funny way, don't get me wrong. It was really exciting, though. I thought I heard my heart thumping inside, you know? It's inappropriate during an investigation. Right, Zach?
Nah, it's okay. You can't help how you're feeling. And she likes you too. She's going out of her way to find you right now with Deputy Willie. Honestly, I think York and Emily's love story is one of the better ones in video games. It's like, I like how it didn't happen right away, like it was gradual, and it kind of makes sense why they would be into each other. They complement each other very well, and it's very sweet. You know what's one downside of this chapter? If you ever want to do a replay to, I don't know, record footage of something that happens near the end, and you're forced to go through 2 slow-ass chase sequences, which you can't even skip half the conversations. And what really sucks is when you finally reach the goddamn clock tower and you think you've hit the pause button to answer texts from your phone across the room, and you end up dying because your last save had York's life half gone, and that life bar for some reason transferred to Emily. And because it's a chapter replay, it can't continue and you have to start off chasing Daddy again. It might just be, my experience, though.
Are you close to the Ingrams?
No, I mean, well, I always say hi when I see them at their store.
Don't you think they make a wonderful family?
I guess so. Including Jim, I suppose they do.
Indeed they do. The ideal family, I'd say. You know that I look after Isaac and Isaiah pretty often, right? They talk a lot when I take them out. Yesterday, Mama and Papa, and this morning, Grandpa, always about their family. Just listening to them makes me feel so happy. I don't have any brothers, you know. Maybe I'm a little jealous of those two. That's why when I come here, I always pay them a visit. Greenvale is really like a second home to me.
I can tell.
Billy's like, hey guys, are we gonna go save York?
Deputy Willie's calling again. Enough about me. Let's get going.
For some reason in the darkness, I see Emily's face. When I first met her on the bridge, she looked so dignified. And that glimmer in her eyes when she argues every word I say. Her blonde hair lit by the dawn. Eating steak at the diner. Giving me directions in the car.
When did she ever give directions?
On her face in the gallery. And that coffee she made. And it's like she's a goddess in a tight dress. Zach, let's pray that she doesn't become a real goddess.
I hope she doesn't. Well, we are almost there, guys. At least with this run, it's daytime, so you don't have to fight anything. No mad wild birds dive bombing Emily and Kaysen.
York is nearby?
Good job, Willie. Can we stop running now, please?
Thank you, Willie.
Hey, so we took the long route here. You weren't playing with us, were you?
George, we found out where York is. George? George! Kaysen, I'm going in alone.
Hey, you didn't forget what George said.
No, I haven't. And that's why you get to stay out here and keep trying to contact him.
With what?
I'm just going to check things out. I'll stay out of danger. Trust me.
He doesn't have a radio.
Okay, if you say so. I'll take care of this here.
Or a cell phone, as far as I know. Well, maybe he does. He's a salesman. Wait, is she actually going to see some shadows? So they are real? They're not just in York's head? Well, this puts a new spin on things. How come they never saw them before?
Stop right there! Stop!
At least they never reacted whenever they popped up and I had to fight them around the corner.
What the hell?
York, Emily is here. Time to say goodbye then.
Thomas, let me tell you one more time. It's not too late. I can help you. Just untie me and let me go. If you don't, the situation will be irreversible, unfixable.
York, no situation is reversible.
Yes, it is.
Didn't you know that? Everyone, everything proceeds along a path preordained by fate.
No. You could stop this at any time, Thomas. Just let him go.
Goodbye then. I wonder who'll be the next person to open this door. Well, whoever that person is will be the one to decide your fate.
Well, I hope it's Emily then.
Zach, what was I supposed to say? All I can do now is wait.
Alright. Emily, you can see shadows. She's a nice gun. Can hold 19 rounds. You can kill shadows in one blow to the head. That's nice. Need to find York. Yep. Okay, so what do you have in your inventory? Ooh, she has some first aid and a gold flare still. Can she see the... Better find York quickly. Okay. I was just wondering what the mission was for this chapter. Oh, that is a neat little detail. She can't see any of the previous clues. Well, she can see our trading cards. Did she profile? Nope. They're all fuzzy to her. That's a neat detail. Okay. Well, I guess we better get moving. She moves pretty quickly. Seems like she's just sort of sliding across the floor and whatnot. I really do think it's neat that we get to take control of Emily and save York. And it's not just some cutscene, you know? I gotta say, Thomas is really strong. I don't think there's an elevator in here, so he carried an unconscious York all the way up here. Unless York was awake and he brought him up here by gunpoint. That could have happened too. But I like to imagine that he had York thrown over his shoulder in a fireman's carry. But I am wondering what has set Thomas off. The Raincoat Killer say something, make him go into hiding to keep, like, York off his trail. This is an infinitely spawning, like, spot for medium health kits. Someone stocked up. This is kind of an indication that something's gonna happen behind that door. Maybe a fight of some sort? Is it connected? Well, let's find out and save. Because I don't want to have to redo shit if this game crashes on me. Which it did, right after I saved. But I did find this weird glitch when I reloaded my game. I found that if I went back down the stairs, all the enemies respawned along with the Agent Honor Red, and I could go out the front door and fall to my death. So I thought that was kind of funny. Alright, so let's continue on. I hear sounds of machinery coming through the door. Hey, this reminds me of The Great Mouse Detective. You know, the scene with the big fight between Basil and Ratigan in the clock tower?
You sure took your time.
Willie took the long way. Then I had to stop to talk with Kaysen every block or so.
Thomas, you've got nowhere to run now. Just surrender yourself.
Emily, I've been waiting for you.
Where's York? Is he okay?
He's quite the handsome one, isn't he? I liked him the moment I saw him. He likes someone else, of course. Who do you think that is?
I'm asking you if he is okay. Answer me.
He is handsome. But me and Carol, we love not him, but a different person. My lovely G.
Cut the crap. Do you know what you're doing?
Why, yes, I do. All too well. Far better than you do, I think. You know nothing about yourself, nor this town.
Please don't make me shoot you.
You're a silly, sad little woman. We're heading for devastation. All of us. And no one can stop it.
Oh, Thomas. You're sick. But there's still time. We can get you help. I'll help you.
You're too kind, Emily. As kind as a goddess. That's why he likes you. This town is soiled, and only you are shining in it.
That's right, Thomas. Let's just leave here together.
It was so much better back then. We had so much fun. Emily, that was before you came. I won't let you have him! You filthy pig!
Look, Thomas, you can have G. Emily is all about York right now. Okay, so welcome to our first boss battle of the game. Thomas has 3 forms of attacks. He has one where he shoots into the air 3 times and sends a hook flying towards Emily's head. You just have to hit a button to dodge it. He'll also shoot directly at Emily. And again, you just have to shoot a B button to evade. And finally, he'll shoot into the air, a horn will sound, he'll jump on this big hook, and then sort of right over to Emily and smash into her a couple times that you have to hit the button to avoid. So in the original game, the view during the battle was a bit different. There was a fixed camera view that only switched to an over-the-shoulder view when Emily aimed her gun. Thomas's attacks are the same, but like I mentioned in the last video, the button prompts to dodge are a bit more complicated in the original version of the game. Instead of 1 button, you typically had a 3-button combo whenever the hook was involved, though dodging bullets still only involved a single button. They really scaled back the overall difficulty of this battle within the director's cut. Aiming at Thomas can be a little bit difficult because you can't lock on to him. So you just gotta sort of do it by eye. And he jumps around all over the place. But I find he's easiest to hit when he's on the gears that are closest to where Emily is standing.
This is good! How's this?
You sure can take a lot of bullets. That's for sure.
You won't have it your way! I won't let you take him! I'll show you how serious I am! I'll turn you into hamburger meat! Eat this! How's this? Dodge this!
he can jump and fight really well in heels. I'm really impressed. And I forgot to mention, you can avoid the hook attacks by just running in the other direction, so you don't always have to hit the quick time buttons. If you're just not in the path of the hook, it will not hit you too. Oh, he's calling down the hook to swing at Emily. This is really the best opportunity to get in a lot of shots on Thomas because you're able to lock in on him when he's on that hook. Well, usually. I'm sucking at the moment. It's usually when he's done with his attack and he's rising up to the ceiling.
You're gonna die, Emily.
There we go.
Die, Emily. You're gonna die, Emily. You're gonna die, Emily. Emily!
Almost done. I find he does this swinging hook attack pretty much once he's lost a lot of life too. Alright. We've completed our first boss battle. It makes me sad that it was Thomas. But he's still alive, so maybe we can get him help.
Thomas, don't make me shoot again. Surrender and turn yourself in.
Emily. Emily,
Thomas.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's enough, Thomas. Just come over here.
Emily, I just... I hate you so much.
No!
Die, you skanky swine!
Whoa! Where did Willie come from?
What? Get away! Get away from me!
Get off!
Yikes. Oh no! No! Oh, what an awful way to die! No, Thomas!
Oh! Is that Thomas hanging there? Oh my god. He looks like a strung up turkey.
Kaysen! Ugh. Poor Thomas!
Zach, was that a gunshot? I hope nothing terrible has happened.
Well, Thomas died. I wanted to help him, not kill him. Oh, I was wrong. It's not Emily, it's gonna be Willie who's gonna save York.
Hey, Willie. Are you here with your owner?
Man, my heart is broken, guys. I loved Thomas. Hey, at least there's a phone. Really don't need to save, though. The chapter's about to end. No observation for the chair. Hey guys! Oh, you can see Thomas.
Hey!
Oh, Emily is traumatized. I would be too. Oh my goodness. What a horrible thing to witness and be a part of.
York, are you okay?
I'm fine. Got to spend some quality time with Zach. I heard gunshots. Did you get our man?
York, Thomas is dead. I shot him. He tried to kill me.
Thomas. I suppose that this is the fate you talked about. But Emily, what about the murderer?
I just told you I had to shoot Thomas.
Thomas's actions may have surprised you, I understand that. But our job is to catch the killer, isn't it? You didn't let the killer get away.
York, are you saying that Thomas was not responsible for the murders?
What? That makes no sense.
Emily, are you out of your mind?
Dude.
Thomas was certainly neck deep in this.
You have to insult her. She just saved you.
But he didn't kill the girls. He has concrete alibis for all 3 murders. He also doesn't have the reverse peace symbol on his back. These are basic facts that for sure you haven't forgotten.
Then who?
I need you to be strong, Emily. If Thomas is not the killer, then there is only one other possibility. The only one with free access to the department files.
Don't say it.
Doesn't have an alibi at the time of the killings.
Don't you say it.
Love G himself.
George? George is the killer? And since when did you start thinking this?
I wasn't sure to start with, but you saw the pictures, right?
Not really, but...
In that secret room in Carol's bar. That was when I became 100% positive.
But George didn't have the tattoo on his back.
Ah, right. He doesn't have a tattoo on his back. But there is a pattern there.
What do you mean?
Emily, I'm not saying that the pattern was the tattoo. Remember what Harry said. There isn't a single thing that can maintain its shape for eternity. And George's back is a perfect example.
Hey, you two! Could you explain this so I can understand what's going on?
George played us.
Emily, come in.
He's the killer.
Emily here. I've rescued Agent York from the clock tower. Thomas is dead. I was forced to shoot him.
I see. And you two are both all right?
York is a little weak, but we're heading back to the department now.
Okay. I'll do the same.
Emily, George is a friend of yours, isn't he?
Yes.
Then what we are about to do is going to be tough to deal with. Are you willing to go through with this?
Hell yeah.
York, I'm deputy sheriff. This might be a small town, but I take pride in that. It's my duty to make sure that we catch all the bad guys in Greenvale.
You go, girl.
Even if it means facing an end that I would never have hoped for.
Okay. Then let's get moving. This case is going to end at the sheriff's department.
This is madness! Willie, come on, let's go with him. Chickening out now would be like leaving after eating the appetizers.
what are you gonna do? Whoa. What a surprise. Well, not really if you've been paying attention while you were playing. But, yeah. George, our friendship was too good to be true. Well, that should do it for this chapter. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye!